thought we were live.
Now we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci, interrupting conversation that didn't realize would still be happening when I went live.
Sorry.
Well, you didn't warn us.
I told you I was going. We're off to a great start. Thank you so much, everybody who is watching either right now live or sometime in the future. I'm just so glad people are clicking on these videos. I've been doing this now for over a year. So big announcement before we get this show started. I promised, I teased it on Monday. We have the 100th episode of this show happening. The date is now Tuesday, June 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, we've done a version of this in the past a few times, and I love doing it. This is going to be a free-for-all episode. Oh, yeah. If you are interested in being on this episode, you are on. Reach out to me either on the Facebook page if you search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video, or on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. I'm going to be posting about it a lot more. Like I said, we're going to try to get as many people in the room as possible because I'm also giving out money on this episode. First place is going to get $30, second place 20, third place 10. Everyone else, they get to watch a show. There's also going to be a theme that I will not talk about until the day of, but I'm very excited to see how this works out. So please keep an eye out for that. The 100th episode of this show. I can't believe I expected to do maybe 4 or 5 of these, and we're still going, and we still got new people coming on the show, which I'm so excited about, including tonight. I'm going to jump into it in a second. Theme tonight, speaking of themes, is black and white movies. Pretty self-explanatory. I think I was putting together the list of movies for tonight, and there is 110 years between the oldest and newest movie on this list. So we'll see how the contestants do tonight. It's very similar to the old movie episode that we did a couple of months ago with like 6 or 7 new movies. So we'll see what the movie knowledge of these contestants are. I've spoken about them generally enough. Let's bring them into the show. Joining me tonight are Conor Shanahan, Jason Dubinsky, Josh Poirier, and Marc Catino. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks, Nick.
Let's talk to you individually momentarily. Let's start off, because I believe he was on the old movie episode, and now he's in black and white. Josh Poirier, back to the show. Hey, Josh.
What's up, Nick?
Now, I'm right about that. You did the old movie episode.
Yeah, I did, and I'm so upset that you still put like 6 or 7 new movies in here, because those are the ones I studied.
I tried to find specifically some new ones because I have a lot of movies left over from that show that we didn't get to. So all the movies that I added within the last couple of days are all 1970 or later.
Nice.
So I think there's a good range. How are you feeling about this?
Good. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I love black and white movies. I found I was the only person on the panel that actually owned and used a black and white TV.
And again, you only say that because you weren't listening to anybody else.
No, I know other people owned them, but
I also owned a black and white TV that I watched.
Oh, did you watch? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to you. I apologize. I greatly apologize. I feel so bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not old enough for it, but I am not rich enough for it. So I will ask you the question that I always ask. Well, I don't always ask this question, but you've been on the show enough.
Yep.
Can you recommend one of your favorite black and white movies?
Clerks, which doesn't need any recommendation. I don't think Clerks really needs a recommendation.
Oh, Clerks.
But I do recommend Pie. Aronofsky's first film.
I feel like you're just listing every movie that every black and white movie I've seen. 2.
Which is a fantastically creepy movie by him. I love Pi so much. I watched it when I rented it when I worked at Blockbuster Video in '98.
Yeah,
and
I've never seen it. I've only seen I think 2 Darren Aronofsky movies.
I recommend Pi highly, very highly. It's really out there, but it makes a lot of sense. It brings a lot of stuff to the surface that I didn't realize, like that the Hebrew language is based on mathematics, and it kind of brings just a lot of stuff to the surface. It's really interesting stuff.
I'm gonna have to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
It's a blind spot for me.
Christopher Nolan made a black and white film too, didn't he?
Yeah, Following.
They all started black and white.
Josh.
Well, speaking of, because he's also spoken a lot at this point, and I believe also worked in a video store in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. This is his second time on the show. Long overdue. Happy to have him back. Jason Dubinsky's back. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for having me. I worked at a video store 1999. No, 2000s, early 2000s, I think. I don't know. Long time ago.
I
remember video stores.
I was the only one who worked at a video store here.
I think Connor maybe worked at a video store, if my old man memory is correct.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty interesting group of people tonight that I think this could be a competitive show. Now, except you just said that you've only seen 2 black and white movies.
I've seen at least 10 black and white movies.
Perfect. Then you'll do fine. We're doing 12 movies tonight.
Probably familiar with at least 20 of them. So yeah, I think I got this.
All right. Well, can you recommend a black and white movie that you really like?
I can, but I feel like it's gonna be. I mean, what my favorite movie, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, is Ed Wood.
Yes.
1993-ish, Tim Burton. Yeah, greatest Martin Landau won Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of help me out here, Bela Lugosi. Yeah, amazing movie. So
Martin Landau's amazing in that movie.
Oh, I could. There are certain scenes that I still quote in my head at least a couple times a week from that movie.
That just reminded me of my favorite movie that wasn't in the 90s. It was black and white. Was Marty.
I love Marty. Marty is fantastic. Amazing.
Ernest Borgnine was unbelievable in that movie.
The remake isn't terrible either.
It's not. I actually saw the stage production.
I've never seen that. I've seen. What's it called? What's the John Candy one? Only the Lonely.
Only the Lonely. Yes. Yes.
Marty is Marty about an invisible rabbit or no? Am I thinking?
That's Harvey.
That's Harvey. That's Harvey.
All right.
Marty was about a poor. Marty was about a poor butcher from Brooklyn.
Also returning to the show, just got word that he might have worked in a video store at some point. He's also, I don't want to jinx him tonight, but one of the overall highest scorers in this game, one of the best people to play this game.
Oh.
Conor Shanahan's back. Hey, Conor.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for having me back, man. As one of the only people to have ever owned a black and white TV, the only person to have ever slung videos at a video store, and the only person to have played this game before, it's great to be here.
You beat me with the rule of threes.
Yeah, this is already a blast. This is so silly already. I'm loving it.
It's good vibes tonight. How are you feeling about this? Do you have you seen any black and white movies?
Sure, I've seen black and white movies, but I'm excited because I don't think that the topic is going to tip it's like the movie's hand to me as well as other topics have. So I don't know. I've seen my fair of movies from many different eras. So I mean, I'm hoping that'll help. But I did not know that Only the Lonely was a sort of remake of Marty, and I'm going to go revisit that. That's great. So I'm learning some sweet stuff here today about our buddy John Candy. And
John Candy, I don't think has been in a black and white movie. It's a real bold claim I'm going to do with little research.
I think you may be right.
I mean, if you send it on the internet, it's right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is YouTube. Anything I say is kind of right.
Pretty much.
Well, can you recommend a black and white movie that you really like?
I cannot get enough of Young Frankenstein. I'm sure everyone's seen it, but it's just one of those movies that
Never
is
heard
just
of it.
endlessly quotable. And I mean, Marty Feldman, and that scene when Gene Wilder tells them under no circumstances to open the door.
Yeah,
and as soon as he goes in there, it's incredible. It's one of the greatest comedic performances ever.
I just rewatched that scene maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
I was on a Gene Wilder kick because I just watched The Frisco Kid.
Oh, nice.
Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford.
Comedic legend Harrison Ford. No,
I mean, the weird thing about the movie is it's kind of a comedy, but not totally a comedy. It's a weird one. It's not my favorite, but Young Frankenstein, amazing.
Classic. I mean, just so good.
Just a Peter Boyle in that movie doesn't get enough credit.
I know. To be the backbone like that, just so good.
No, excellent choice.
Peter Boyle owned
kind
a
of a
black and
cop
white
out.
TV.
Again, it's not a cop out. You're the only one first time out to recommend a black and white movie that didn't come out in the 90s. Finally, first time on the show. So happy you decided to do it. It's been a few weeks since a nepotism guest. Second only to my mother being on the show.
Does that mean I get to start off with a couple of points at least?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
This is my cousin, Marc Catino, back on the show. On the show for the first time. I am
welcome back.
You can say back on the show. I've been watching it all week, so
yeah.
And you still came on.
And I comment on all the ones that you guys got wrong, and I'm like, where's the Disney love for you guys?
Yeah, it's surprising that there's been a lot of Disney movies that just people don't know.
Yeah.
That I think are easy enough.
Yeah.
I've rewatched one of the episodes that you commented on. And wild to me that there's a Disney movie on that episode that I thought was real easy to get, got down to the 1 point clue. I used that movie again, I think last week, again, got down to the 1 point clue.
What was it?
Was it The Lion King again?
No, this was a spoiler for episode 9 and episode 93. Lilo and Stitch.
I couldn't believe that. You guys.
Who was on that episode?
Well, that was
Lloyd.
That was what was it? Lloyd.
Can't believe you missed it.
It was Tyler Tuttle. It was Sammy James. And Michael Valentine, who's new to the show. Go back and watch that show. No, watch this first, then go to that one. We've had a good run. Don't ruin this episode, any of you. We've had a good run of shows recently.
Hey, Nick, congratulations on hitting 100, by the way. That's amazing, man. So you do a great job. That's friggin' great.
Is it the law that when you say the last name Valentine, you have to say it like Valentine? Because
that is the law.
Really
that is why I said it exactly like that.
They broke the law 10 seconds ago, by the way.
I mean, I know this about you, Mark. I'm gonna go back and forth with what your name is.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't know what my name is either. So
yeah, but I know you to watch a lot of movies.
Yep, usually movies that people have written off. And
now, do you have? This is a different question. This isn't the black and white question, but. No. What do you mean written off? What is a movie? What is an example of that?
I don't know.
What's with all these black and white questions?
I mean,
can't handle a simple follow-up question.
There's a lot of movies that like I'll watch and everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna hate that movie," and I'm gonna be like, "I love that movie." You know what dreams?
But then you don't remember a single name. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that is a movie I really hate.
Yeah, What Dreams May Come?
Good choice.
Yeah, everybody hates these movies and I love them. You know? And I don't enjoy the movies that people are like, oh my God, you got to watch Star Wars or.
It's not black and white.
Who is that an impression of?
Every
like a
Star
Star
Wars
Wars
fan.
fan to me.
Star Wars, you got to watch it.
That's
Well, actually, the real Star Wars fan would be a lot more would be banned pretty quickly from this channel.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the Star Wars fans hate a lot of things.
but mostly they hate themselves.
That's true.
Dun,
They
dun,
hate.
dun.
They love like 2 Star Wars movies, and
On a good
hate the
day.
fact that they agree with a lot of the stuff the Nazi villains are doing.
Yeah.
I love John Williams. Does that count as liking Star Wars or?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
It's a real hot take there. Love John Williams.
Well, can you? I've already put you through the ringer in that. Can you recommend a black and white movie?
Only if we're considering Mary and Max to be a black and white film, because there's a little touch of color in there somewhere, but it's an animated black and white film.
Yeah, that's one that's been on my list for decades that I still haven't gotten to.
Well, you should get to it. It's a really good film. And
Yes.
if you want to go like real black and white, Metropolis.
Excellent.
Yeah. Because, film study and I actually enjoyed the film. So why not?
A movie so good, George Lucas ripped it off for one of his movies.
Only one?
I love American Graffiti.
Uh-huh.
I remember how many people completely shat on Metropolis and gave up on it.
Well, excellent choices all around. Thank you all for being here again. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen tonight. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of black and white movies. As I say every time, I don't write any of these clues. I don't know who writes them. They're anonymous weirdos, and I was digging today, and there is some wild shit on there. I don't know if they hate movies, if they hate themselves, if it's just a prank against me specifically for doing 100 episodes of this.
Yep.
But regardless, I'm going to read these parental warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. And unless there's any other questions or anything anybody wants to add, I think it's time to jump into this game. And to do that, Connor, I'm going to go to you first.
All right.
Would you like a black and white movie from 1931, 1977, or 2012?
31.
31.
Only way to do it is
one of
to
the
do it.
old ones first. All right. First movie of the night from 1931 for 5 points under the category of sex and nudity. The
In
term
1931.
1931. The term whore is used once. Josh has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Josh?
For Madness?
It is not Reefer Madness.
That was
A
30.
movie that gets a lot of play on this show.
Yeah, it does. Wonder why.
For 4 points under the category of violence and gore, although none of the killings are shown on screen at all, the threat of violence is nearly constant throughout the film. See Josh, I see Mark. Anybody else? Mark, I'll go to you first. What do you think?
Is it Casablanca?
Josh, what do you think?
The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
It is not Casablanca. And Josh, I assume you didn't watch the Thursday show?
I did watch the Thursday show. I did watch the
Monday
Monday show where there were 2 versions.
No,
of
I am out of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movies for this show. We did 2 on Monday. It's not. No.
Oh, son of a bitch. I thought I was right.
No. Jason, I will have to read this clue for 3 points under profanity. In the English subtitled version, the word bitch is said.
That English subtitle version really threw me for a whole loop, Nick.
Do you still want to guess, Jason?
I am going to guess that it was 1931's Godzilla.
It is not Godzilla.
Oh shit. You don't say. The movie about the nuclear age that didn't come out 15 years before the invention of the nuclear bomb.
That Godzilla was a allegory for the I don't know.
I have no idea.
World War I.
I thought I had an idea, but your subtitles totally threw me. So yeah.
All right. For 2 points, under frightening and intense scenes, the killer behaves in a very disturbing / unnatural manner throughout the movie.
Sounds like Godzilla to me.
Do I want to do this?
Do you want to?
Do I want to go down -3?
That's a good question.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave it.
Well, I'm not going to go to you first. I'm going to go to Mark first.
Well, you said killer, so the first thing I thought of was M.
Josh, what do you think?
No, I'm done. I'm out.
Well, you're out, even though you could have just stolen the right answer.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that, Nick. You yelled at me the last time I did that. I didn't want to do it.
Listen, you can either win or not.
Nice pull.
Yeah, incredibly creepy Peter Lorre performance.
Peter Lorre. That's sex.
Are there
symbol,
any
Peter
other kinds,
Lorre.
though? I mean,
final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, the fact that the film is based around a child murderer.
I gotta see this one.
Real dark shit for 1931.
It's another one that I saw in film study.
1931 was a dark time.
Yeah, some stuff was going on in the world.
I mean, come on, all the marijuana reefer bandits can be considered a child killer.
At the end of the first round, Mark, you're in the lead with 1 point.
Woo!
Connor at 0. Jason at -1. Josh at -2.
Still anybody's game.
Absolutely.
Really?
There's still 11 rounds left. We want to talk about this every round. Jason, would you like a movie from 1935, 1954, or 1968?
1968.
1968. From 1968, for 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes, all of the main characters die.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, 3 hands up. Connor, I'll go to you first.
Night of the Living Dead.
Josh, what do you think?
Oh, son of a bitch. All the main characters don't die. Dr. Strangelove.
Jason, what do you think?
I also think Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Yeah, I guess technically, if a nuclear bomb drops, all the main characters die. However, all the main characters also die in Night of the Living Dead.
That's my noise that I make when I'm lose.
One of the best, most depressing endings in a movie. Fucking love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
I've never seen that version of it. I've seen
it's great.
80s version with Tony Todd, which is also great. But
I haven't seen that version.
Good.
Get Tony Todd in it. You should.
Is that the Savini directed one? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good.
Also in Night of the Living Dead, under violence and gore, a partially decomposed face of a dead body is shown. Very surprising. Violence and gore, a little girl kills a woman with a masonry trowel. This is probably the goriest scene in the movie. Violence and gore, the movie was released in 1968, so it's pretty tame for today's standards, and compared to other horror films, especially its sequel, which is extremely graphic.
Been better.
So good. So
Talking
good.
about Day of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn, baby.
No,
I am one of the few people, I think, who does not like Dawn of the Dead.
Really?
I don't like the Zack Snyder version. I hate that.
Love Night of the Living Dead. I love Day of the Dead.
I like Shaun of the Dead. Does that count?
That does count.
No, it does not. Yes,
and also frightening and intense scenes. This is the first film about a zombie apocalypse with a focus on a group of survivors trapped in a house on the countryside.
That doesn't sound right.
Very specific.
Connor's now in the lead with 5 points. Mark at 1, Jason at -2, Josh at -3.
Studied for this.
Josh, would you like a movie from 1922, 1932, or 2021?
Go with 22.
22. No, I said 2021.
No, 1920. Fine.
All right, this movie came out 99 years before the other movie. From 1922 for 5 points, under sex and nudity, 2 women are briefly shown topless. This is not sexualized. What do you think, Josh?
Is this Metropolis?
It is not Metropolis.
All right, fine.
For 4 points, under frightening and intense scenes, hunting and butchering of animals may be disturbing to some youths or animal lovers. Connor, what do you think?
I can't imagine why there would be topless people in this, but Nanook of the North.
Josh, what do you think?
You just
Freaks.
made that movie up.
Oh, what did you say, Josh?
Freaks.
It is not Freaks. I also don't know why there are 2 topless women in Nanook of the North.
Wow,
Are you kidding me?
that's wild. It's been a long time.
That is wild.
God damn it, Connor.
You should have studied better, Josh.
I did study.
Also in Nanook of the North, violence and gore, a seal's carcass is skinned.
Yeah,
Violence and gore, a walrus's carcass is skinned.
yeah. That's what
Frightening
did
and
it.
intense scenes, 2 sled dogs are shown fighting and biting each other for an extended period of time, while the main character beats them both with the handle of a whip. Just a good time all around.
What was I can't remember the documentarian's name who made it, but he did a few. He did one on the Inishmore, or not Inishmore, on the Aran Islands as well. Do you know his name, Nick?
I have no idea what his name is.
Okay, yeah, he did a bunch
farther into this than I am.
He did a bunch of like big documentaries, right at the start of documentary filmmaking 100 years ago.
There's a movie that came out about this recently.
What's the movie, Josh?
I forget. No, you know what it was? No, you know what it was? It was
The
Documentary
Northman.
Now. Documentary Now did a play on it.
Oh, I have seen
Documentary
it.
Now did a play on it. Did a play on it.
That show is so fabulous.
Connor in the lead with 9 points. Mark
Yeah, we
at
know.
1. Jason at -2. Josh at -5.
Yeah, I'm still anybody's game.
Mark, would you like a movie from 1926, 1936, or 1948?
How about 48?
How about 48?
How about 48? The war was over and things were good again.
Everything was great and the world has never been bad since. From 1948 for 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes. It's a comedy, but a few scenes may be frightening for some very young kids.
Just watch McConnor's hand to go for the reaction and then get it in before he does and copy his answer.
For 4 points, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. One very brief mention of getting drunk by a man who believes another man is hungover the next morning after transforming.
Transforming?
After transforming, eh?
Transforming.
Josh has a guess. Mark has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Mark?
Is it a Frankenstein movie? All right. No, that's not Transforming.
I thought that was actually the title of a movie. A Frankenstein
Frankenstein
movie
movie.
from 1948.
Josh, what do you think?
The Plan 9.
It is not Plan 9 from outer space. And unfortunately, Mark, I don't think I can give you a Frankenstein movie.
There's so many of them.
Josh has a
God damn
guess
it.
for the next round, but I'm going to go with this. For 3 points under violence and gore, a man turns into a werewolf and begins to destroy everything in the room.
The comedy is throwing me off.
It's not throwing me off. The name is going to be wrong, though. And then everybody's going to get it off of my name being wrong.
We'll see how close you can get if you know what this movie is.
Me too.
Josh, what do you think this movie is?
Is it Abbott and Costello Meet the Werewolf?
It is not Abbott and Costello Meet the Werewolf.
Damn it.
That was a great stab.
That was.
Yeah.
2 points.
What the hell is it if not?
For 2 points under violence and gore, Dracula bites a man's girlfriend on the neck. No blood is shown.
Dracula and a werewolf, huh?
Connor, what do you think?
Is it Abbott and Costello meet Dracula?
Josh, what do you think?
That was my guess. Abbott and Costello Meet Dracula.
Jason, what do you think?
Abbott and Costello meet Dracula.
It is not Abbott and Costello Meet Dracula.
Damn it.
Is it Abbott and Costello?
Final clue for 1 point under violence and gore. The Frankenstein monster is burned to death at the end of the film on the pier. Dracula and the Wolfman are drowned. The monsters go on a destructive rampage through the castle, tossing a woman through a window, which is quite violent for the time, and tries to kill the doctor.
I gotta see this movie.
Sounds like a
So
fun
do
time.
Abbott and
One
Costello.
guess from Josh. Nobody else wants to take a stab on this.
I'm already out of this.
Connor, what do you
Anyone's
think?
game, Josh.
Connor?
School of Rock.
Thank you for sacrificing.
Jack Black, Mike White. I don't care if it's 1948. I'm getting that joke out right now.
Great joke. Terrible answer, but great.
Terrible joke. Thank you.
Josh, what do you think?
Is it the Three Stooges meet Dracula?
It is not the Three Stooges meet Dracula. You're all going to absolutely despise me.
Abbott and Costello meet the other thing.
This movie that features Wolfman and Dracula and Frankenstein's monster is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
I was gonna do it, but
That's the rule of three, baby.
So I was halfway right.
Everybody was halfway right at some point.
those two just had no confidence in Frankenstein, huh? To support a movie, they had to go dragging the others into it.
Josh literally just left the zone. Huh. I don't know. Oh, okay.
All right. Welcome back.
Hey, everything okay, buddy?
Yeah, I left in protest.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm
came
so
back in
happy
color.
that round went the way it did.
That was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, for everybody else but me.
Also, just a wonderful movie. For some reason, is canon in all of these Universal monster movies. Like Lon Chaney Jr. still plays the Wolfman. Bela Lugosi is in it. It's real fun.
Yeah, I got the box set, the Universal box set of Blu-ray last year, and I believe they're all included as well. So yeah, canon. Sweet.
Well, that round ruined everyone. Connor, you're at 7. Mark at 0. Jason at -3. Josh at -9.
Josh studied, right?
That was my favorite round I've ever played.
Connor, would you like a movie from 1931, 1980, or 2012?
Fuck 2012 because of Roland Emmerich. Let's go 1980 because I did 1931 last time.
Yeah, there were a lot of black and white movies in 1931, surprisingly.
Yeah.
This movie's from 1980. There were fewer. For 5 points under sex and nudity, genitals are referred to in an anatomical discussion, and we see pants being removed from the man being discussed. This is seen from behind a curtain, and he is facing backwards from the camera, so there is no actual nudity. Josh, what do you think?
Elephant Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, little late on the draw, Connor.
Yep.
Yes, this is the Elephant Man. Josh redeeming himself.
Told you I studied.
David Lynch's second best black and white movie.
And
Mel Brooks' second best black and white movie too.
Also true.
I loved Jeff Goldblum and the Tall Man, which had Elephant Man the musical in it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a fun story. Mel Brooks wants to make this movie, but realizes he can't because he's Mel Brooks, so hires David Lynch.
That is really cool. I did not know that.
Lynch almost went on to direct Return of the Jedi.
He sure did, and instead directed Dune.
Thank God.
Mel Brooks also then went
never
on
would
to
have
hire.
had Sting in that cod piece if it wasn't for that. And that is a gift to humanity.
Mel Brooks also hired Cronenberg a few years later to do The Fly, didn't he? Isn't that a Mel Brooks film?
He's also the one who came up with the tagline for The Fly. Be afraid, be very afraid. That is Mel Brooks. This is just a Mel Brooks show.
I also love the fact that Lynch went on to direct a Disney movie as well, which always screws me up.
Straight story.
A straight story.
Yeah.
Still never seen that. I didn't know that was a Disney movie.
Also in The Elephant Man, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, scenes of drinking in a scene with a drunken mob. Violence and gore, a scene where a man is being operated on by surgeons. We see his body for a few seconds. We see blood on his whole face and torso, and his chest is open, though it's not very gory because it's in black and white. Frightening and intense scenes throughout the film. The main character is continuously tormented by society, and he is shown getting physically and emotionally abused. This is extremely upsetting, depressing, and traumatizing, especially for anyone who's gone through a similar fate. And frightening and intense scenes, the main character is an extremely deformed appearance that many could find disturbing. However, the film makes a point of showing how he is a very good and gentle man despite his affliction.
Love this movie, by the way.
It's great.
By the way, my stab was gonna be Raging Bull. And I was like blocking out the scene where De Niro takes Pesci behind a towel to talk about their genitals or something. So,
well, it's a good thing you didn't buzz in time.
Yes.
You think my genitals like a clown? You think they're funny? Funny like a clown?
Connor still in the lead with 7. Mark at 0. Jason at -3. Josh, you've moved up to -4.
Nice.
Jason, would you like a movie from 1911, 1932, or 1941?
No.
All right.
1941, please.
1941.
We can say no?
I mean, you can, but then the game stalls and we don't go anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
1941 for 5 points, under sex and nudity. There are a few scenes which include the buttocks and breasts of several nude statues, though this is non-sexual. Yeah. Josh has a guess. Anybody else?
I'm gonna chime in.
All right. Connor, what do you think this movie is?
41, I'll say Citizen Kane.
Josh, what do you think this movie is?
I was going to say Citizen Kane as well.
This game has taken a turn from the first rounds. This is Citizen Kane.
The one of them that I've seen. One of the 3 black and white movies that I've seen.
Remember the statues?
I was hesitant to use this movie because I try not to use movies that people who have played this game have already played. Mark has never played this game, but he has watched the first 10 episodes of this game. I rewatched episode 9. This movie's in it. Did not stick. I don't know why I go through the effort of making sure people haven't used these movies before. Nobody remembers.
The sad thing is I didn't make any ground on Connor.
Also in Citizen Kane under 6 and nudity, at a party for a man, there are several women who are scantily clad.
Oh my God.
Violence and gore. After a man's second wife walks out on him, the man goes berserk and tears his bedroom apart.
I do
Sure
remember
does.
that.
Violence and gore. A boy shoves a sled into a man's stomach, knocking him into the snow. And frightening and intense scenes. The lead actor acts as the main character in the movie really well. So the character's transition and personality may shock some, but it's not really scary due to the film's genre.
It's Orson Welles' second best performance, with his best being, of course, Transformers the movie.
Oh, of course, yeah. I
that
would put
champagne ad.
Transformers second. Yeah, I was going to say Transformers second, Citizen Kane third, the outtakes of the wine commercial first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, the French.
Tied with the frozen peas commercial. Conor extending his lead at 12 points. Josh jumping to second place with 1 point. Mark at 0. Jason at -3.
Holding strong.
Mark, would you like a movie from 1959, 1994, or 2019?
How about 2019?
About 2019. Let's get a newer movie. in
This
here.
this better be an easy one. Put it down.
2019.
Put it down.
Jason's already buzzed in, and now he's not.
I thought somebody said put it down. I thought it was an illegal buzz, so I didn't want to.
2019 for 5 points. Under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, one of the characters is frequently seen smoking a pipe.
There it is.
Mark has a guess. Josh has a guess. Jason or Connor, anything? Connor,
God damn it,
yes.
Connor.
Jason, everybody's going to try this one. Jason, what do you think?
Is this The Artist?
Connor, what do you think?
I'm something of a lighthouse man myself. I believe this is
Stop!
the lighthouse.
Josh, what do you think?
I have no concept of time. The Artist was like 20 years ago.
What the hell? Where is he?
God
Lighthouse.
Damn it.
Mark, what do you think?
What they said.
I really.
You guys are over here for me.
This movie, of course, is The Artist. I'm kidding. It's The
Oh,
Lighthouse. Artist came out in 2012.
The artist
Right,
meets the
of course it did.
lighthouse.
Of course it did.
Abbott and Costello meet the lighthouse.
I'd like to see an Abbott and Costello remake with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Oh my gosh.
My problem here is that I don't see black and white.
There it is.
I tell you one of the stupidest things that made me laugh as a kid.
No.
Okay. I was at Fenway Park as a kid, and this was back in when Jim Abbott.
That is pretty
pitching.
stupid.
Jim Abbott was pitching, and I laughed harder. I laughed the hardest I've ever laughed at like 12 years old when I looked up and saw that the pitching matchup in the Angels game was Abbott versus Castile.
I don't know if you remember
Josh.
this about the game, but who was on first?
Ah, yes.
Yep.
We're a bunch of old souls on this game. I love it.
One of the greatest comedy bits of all time.
Oh, so good.
I performed that bit in a variety show in high school. To nobody wanting it to happen.
No surprise there.
I wanted to have
Was that when you had the Jesus beard?
No, that was the few years. What do you mean? I can't grow a beard.
No. What, am I looking at David Letterman then?
No, I had a real long beard at like 14. But no, this was shaved.
Now we're talking.
Everybody, gross.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Almost everybody jumped up on that round. Connor's at 17, Josh at 6, Mark at 5, Jason at -4.
Still Connor's game.
How many rounds we got left?
A little confused. Who did I just ask to? Did I skip over
me.
asking somebody?
You might have.
No.
Josh, I think I skipped over asking
skipped me.
you.
Yeah, you did.
No, that was me that round. You asked me.
No, I asked you the 3 movies you did not want.
Yep.
So you skipped over me.
Yep, I did. Was a little confused by my scoreboard. So I'm just going to go back to you right now.
That's cool.
Josh, would you like a movie from 1938, 1942, or 1956?
No. 19, whatever the first one was.
38?
Yeah, sure.
I love how most people just don't want to be on this show once they're on. Especially Josh, who's been on like 20 times. Hates it every time. Has hosted this show 3 times. Hates being on this show.
Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
1938 for 5 points. Under sex and nudity, there is a brief sex-related use of, quote, turned on.
What?
Sex and nudity, brief sex-related use of turned on in 19. Oh no. I am looking at the wrong thing because I'm supposed to be looking at 38. I'm looking at 83.
Oh,
a little dyslexia, huh?
I've got the wrong movie up. That makes more sense. I was surprised that was the first clue of this movie. All right, that makes more sense. 1938. Cut that out. I'll cut it out in post. For 5 points under profanity, I've never edited one of these episodes. Under profanity, 1 use of stupid, fool, and idiot. Still not helpful, but fits in more to 1938.
Oh no, I'm turned on.
Now we're talking.
Oh, I hate this episode. 4 points under frightening and intense scenes. A scene with a man in a cemetery at night, finding his own grave.
Ooh.
Josh has a guess. Anybody else? Jason, Connor, Mark, anything? Mark's also going to guess. Mark, what do you think?
Is it Christmas Carol of some sort?
Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's Christmas Carol with Reginald Van Owen.
Jason, what do you
think?
He gets
turned on it, I think.
That other Christmas movie with the guy on the bridge and the bells ringing. It's a Wonderful Life.
Josh, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Christmas Carol.
I'm an idiot. I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're really like you're against winning. Yeah,
not my category.
Fun fact: Christmas Carol came out in 1938, and then in 1983, A Christmas Story came out.
Oh.
So
what
that's
year
just
did?
a little bit.
Oh, look at that.
And when did It's a Wonderful Life come out?
1941, I think.
Okay, I wasn't too far off.
Also,
it's surprisingly later because the brother's in the war in it, so I think it's like early 50s.
No,
because the brother. No, okay. Is 46?
I'm going to stick with 41. Somebody look that up. Don't look up any other movies, but look up that one. Also in A Christmas Carol, under frightening and intense scenes, a ghost walks through a door wearing chains and moaning. Frightening and intense scenes, the face of a ghost appears on a door knocker. And frightening and intense scenes, 3 spirits appear at different times. Yeah. Really, this whole, all of these clues, except for stupid, fool, idiot, are giveaway clues.
Yep.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Like I'm learning quickly. Never go against Connor. 46.
Oh, wow.
The war is over in the movie. So, anyway.
There's always a war that can be over.
Yeah.
Connor's at 21 points. Josh is at 10 points. Mark at 9. Jason is here, just answering questions to the best of his ability. Negative 5
I don't know
points.
if either of those things are true.
I've never seen anyone actively sabotage themselves as bad as Jason.
1938. That was so good, Jeff.
All right. We are nearing the end of this game. 4 movies remain. One more go around. One more for each of you. There's 20 points on the board.
I got this.
Connor, would you
Dopes
like a
have
movie?
been roped.
Would you like a movie from 1935, 1977, or 2012?
Well, fuck Roland Emmerich. So we'll go with the middle one, 77.
77?
Sadie, relax. 77, please.
Sadie.
She's shaking for some reason. Because my house is haunted. This is what.
All right, 1977 for 5 points under sex and nudity. One of the movie's underlining themes is a man's fear of relationships and parenting.
God, I know what it is.
All right, for 4 points under sex and nudity, some mild sexual themes. One scene where characters talk about sex, though it's very non-sexualized. And throughout the movie, there are strange creatures that bear a resemblance to sperm, though they are much larger. Sperm is not sperm size in this movie. That threw you off, Mark?
That's what we. Oh,
Jason,
the
what do you
not
think
sperm
this
size
movie is?
movie.
I have seen
I
this
don't
movie
know.
once, and it was on acid.
Oh no!
And I still.
Oh no!
This is David Lynch's student film Eraserhead.
Oh,
It sure is
It is a
Eraserhead.
fucking nightmare.
Oh my, no! That might be
please.
one of the worst choices you could have made.
yeah.
I was trying to impress a
Yeah.
girl, and
Was she impressed?
enough.
No,
Now we're talking.
I absolutely love this
Now I'm
movie.
turning
It's my favorite David Lynch.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I've been wanting to. This was over 20 years ago
Mhm.
that I watched.
It's a fever dream of
Sure is.
of like anxiety.
I hate it.
Should
Also-
do a double feature
I
of
hate it
that
so
and
much.
pie. Oh, boy.
Also, it led to one of my favorite David Lynch quotes. He was in an interview and he said, Eraserhead is probably my most spiritual movie.
Yeah.
And the interviewer said, elaborate on that. He said, no.
No. That is one of the greatest things about Lynch is that he has elaborated on nothing he's ever done.
No.
It's because I don't think he understands it himself.
Oh, he's admitted that about something. He straight
He's
up
written
came out
4
and said,
books
like,
about
look
a
for all
straight
the-
story.
said, look for meaning in Lost Highway all you want. It doesn't have any.
One of my favorite things about Lynch is he makes these real, just fucked up, weird movies and just seems like a nice guy.
Oh
It
yeah,
really does.
he likes pie. And a good cup of coffee.
I like Pie too, the movie.
Yeah, Josh won't
There's
shut
a
up
sequel?
about pie. Also in Eraserhead, under frightening and intense scenes, the movie has a pervasively dark and eerie atmosphere. Ambient sounds
does.
play pretty much through the whole movie that can be eerie at times.
Yeah. just at
Violence and
times.
gore, a creature gets ill and is shown wheezing with gruesome pox covering it. And violence and gore, no violence really. The movie contains some surreal imagery that can be a bit bloody and distressing, but the film is shot in black and white, so it's not graphic. All blood comes from a strange fish-like creature, never any humans. The last half hour is the only real distressing part.
Strangely, another bad movie to watch on hallucinogenics. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That
I
fucked
throw
me up.
pie in that mix, Josh. I throw pie right on the top of that list.
Yeah.
I need to revisit that though.
Connor's still in the lead at 21. Josh at 10. Mark at 9. Jason, you've moved up to -1.
Let's go.
Still a chance to end up in the positives.
He's
You
limited your chances here.
also get to pick this movie. Would you like a movie from 1932, 1954, or 2021?
2021.
2021.
Justice League.
All right. This movie came out last year for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. The tone of the film is very macabre, but it is not overly frightening or disturbing. the hardest films to remember are the movies that came out in the last 5 years.
You're not kidding.
I say as somebody who ran this game of movies that came out in the last 5 years.
I really thought this was going to be a gimme, and now I'm completely lost.
Okay. I'm going to take a stab.
Oh, we have two. Josh, what do you think this movie is?
No.
Conor, what do you think this movie is?
Oh shit. Okay, is it that? All right, is it a Polish film called Cold War?
There's no Polish allowed in this.
I don't know. It was an Oscar nom, wasn't it?
I have no idea what movie you're talking about. So the answer
It might not be it might not be a movie title. Cold War. Okay.
All right. For 4 points under violence.
Thank you for saving me from myself.
Got your back, Josh.
4 points under violence and gore. We briefly see a man's ghost come to haunt another man as a bloody corpse. Conor, I feel like might know it now. Anybody else?
Wait. What was the clue again?
We briefly see a man's ghost come to haunt another man as a bloody corpse.
I'm just trying to think of every movie A24 has made recently.
That's not the worst strategy for black and white movies. Well, if nobody else has it, Conor, are you going to really solidify your lead here?
This would have been the perfect time for that awful School of Rock joke. Is this the tragedy of Macbeth?
This sure is the tragedy of Macbeth.
It's a tragedy of that question.
I like the fact that I haven't heard of any of these films yet.
Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Joel Cohen. Still haven't seen it.
Somehow not an A24 release, even though you really want it to be.
Yeah.
Like
Denzel
Apple got there first.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it, because anything on Apple doesn't exist.
Oh man, you are missing out on some good Severance, but we'll talk later.
That's what I hear, and I don't believe anybody has Apple, so I don't know how everybody watches these shows.
I'm gonna watch the Apple when the Godzilla series comes out in a couple of years.
1931's Godzilla?
Yeah, 1931's Godzilla.
I'm going to watch the movie The Apple, which is a psychedelic musical produced by Mel Brooks.
Was that Mel Brooks?
That is also Mel Brooks.
Holy shit, yeah. I am learning a lot about Mel Brooks tonight.
2 movies remain. It's one game. Conor is at 24, Josh at 10, Mark at 9, Jason at -1.
Let's go!
Josh, I'm not going to skip by you this time. Would you like a movie from 1926, 1936, or 2012?
2012.
2012.
Wow, did I just say that?
Fuck Roland Emmerich.
All right, penultimate movie from 2012. Why are you all buzzed in?
Because I can't tell you until
You know what? I've only done this one other time in the game. I'm going to allow pre-guesses for 5 points. Mark, what do you think?
Artist.
Conor, what do you think?
I think it's The Artist.
Josh, what do you think?
I think it's The Artist.
Jason, what do you think?
I think it's The Artist.
I'm so happy to start this round with everybody at -1. This is not The Artist.
But you said there were 2 black and white movies that came out in 2012. Ah!
Oh, I love doing this game. Now let's play this round.
It's the funniest thing. I just remember The Artist came out in 2011.
No, he said 2012 earlier. Right?
I used to be great at years, and I'm terrible at years now. After doing
you weren't
this
looking
game.
at something; you were just guessing. Okay.
Remember I told you I studied?
Uh-huh.
The later years are the ones I studied. I completely blanked when you said.
Well, why did you blame? Why you should have listened to me. You studied.
I know.
I'm an idiot. All right, for 5 points or 4 points because y'all took a stab. Under profanity, name calling like crazy, weird, insane, menace, Mr. Rice Krispie, ignorant, stupid, unenlightened, primitive, and witchcraft. Everybody but Connor for some reason. I do want to let you know before we do this, I didn't lie to you. It's not the artist. Josh, what do you think?
The which?
Mark, what do you think?
Frankenweenie?
Jason, what do you think?
Now I'm dying because it was a movie. I love this movie. It's either the name of a city or a state, and I can't. And now I'm going crazy because fuck. It's like
you don't have to guess.
It's the name of a place that nobody wants to go to. It's the name of one of those shitty places on a map that you look at.
I'm just going to put you out of your misery, and I won't take away the point. The movie you're thinking of is Nebraska.
Yeah, that's Nebraska. The one. It's not Nebraska. Okay, that was a good movie.
It's not The Vivitch. This movie is Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
Come on, 2012. What's a remake?
Yep, this was the animated full-length Frankenweenie.
Damn it.
Now we're talking.
I'm not turned on by this.
This is not Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Also in Frankenweenie, under sex and nudity, the PE teacher has very large breasts, though there is no cleavage due to the fact that they are tucked in tightly under her jacket. Real gross to even write that down.
That's fun.
Frightening and intense scenes. Almost all the characters in the film are disturbing or disfigured in appearance as part of the visual theme. Violence and gore. Some smashing, bashing, and gouging things happen in a boy in his dog's new town. No, why do I have a game where I read? I can't read.
You've been doing pretty good so far.
Some smashing, bashing, and gouging things happen in a boy and his dog's town of New Holland, with some of the serious stuff taking place off screen. And violence and gore. The newly reanimated dog takes quite a few tumbles while regaining his living land legs,
it's one of those Frankenstein
falling
movies.
off of a roof and smashing through a window.
By the way, I've just seen our numbers, and our Nebraska numbers just dumped a bunch after Dubinsky went off on that tirade.
Yeah, our witch numbers went even worse.
The views of Jason Dubinsky do not represent the views of Inappropriate Movie Database. I think Nebraska is
a place.
One of the top 50 states.
Have you ever been there?
Nope.
Moving on.
I saw the weirdest thing in Nebraska that I saw was an elevator factory that was one floor.
One movie remains. We're just doing it for fun. Connor's running away at 22. Mark at 13. Josh at 8. Jason at -2. Mark, you get to pick this last movie. Would you like a movie from 1911, 1932, or 1959?
How about 1911?
Why not 1911?
Why not?
I was so happy we got to
like
the
it.
newest and the oldest movies in this game. This might be the oldest movie I've used on the game. From 1911. Good luck, everybody. Under sex and nudity, live penises are seen occasionally, but the buttocks is seen throughout, all in a non-sexual manner and no close-ups. You see full dong in this 110-year-old movie, 111-year-old movie. All those dongs are dead.
The only way is,
Was that a you quote or was that from IMDb?
Oh, that's right from the source.
Nice.
All those dongs are dead.
Dead dong.
Josh, what do you think?
Cleopatra.
It is not Cleopatra.
It's a good stab.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, a man is shown holding his decapitating heads, which may be disturbing to some viewer.
What's the name of this?
Josh, what do you think?
Nebraska.
Jason, what do you think?
I'm just gonna pretend that for certainty, I'm positive that there was a 1911 version of Caligula, and that's what this is.
It is not the 1911 Caligula.
Which is
it is
classic.
also not the 1911 Nebraska.
That was a great Nebraska.
People didn't know that the new one was a remake.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, various sinners are shown being tortured, each one being progressively worse than the last. Some blood is shown. See, everyone but Jason. Connor would. Oh no, Jason, what do you think?
The Seventh Seal. About 50
Connor-
years earlier. I don't know.
Connor, what do you think?
I don't know.
Seventh Sign.
I don't know. So I'll say it's the Divine Comedy.
Mark, what do you think?
Dante's Inferno.
Josh, what do you think?
I was going to say Nebraska again, but I think it's Dante's Inferno.
Go.
Didn't you learn not to go against Connor? I'm glad you did it. You got it right. This is Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. I didn't think they hung so much dong in the Divine Comedy.
I actually thought it might be Dante's Inferno, but I didn't want to accidentally get any points this late in the game. So
Yeah, I don't.
suck it.
This movie's included not because I think anybody's seen this movie, but some of you are familiar.
1911 dong. I mean, you got to include that.
Are you familiar?
Just to wrap this up, also in Dante's Inferno, under sex and nudity, most sinners, people damned to hell in the film, are naked, including both men and women. This is not shown at all in a derogative manner, but it is more of an added punishment for the sinners. And frightening and intense scenes. Overall, the movie is very eerie. The film is about a man traveling through hell, although there is a deeper meaning to the plot, and the idea of the film is not to scare you,
But to save you.
That was Dante's Inferno. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight.
Holy shit, that's really dong. Wow, there's a ton of dong in this movie.
Jason at -4. Josh
go!
at 9. Mark at 16. Great showing out of the box, but not enough to catch Connor, who ends the game with 21 points, making Connor the winner tonight. This was such a treat. This was such a fun episode. Before we go, I do this in every game, and it's weird to do it when there's like one comic on the show. But if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or just any last words, Josh, I'll start with you.
Watching Dante's Inferno. There's a ton of dong on this movie.
Send me those.
It's on
clips.
YouTube, by the way. No, nothing really. I know I'll be on this show again. I'm still going to do that special episode at some point. So I don't want to get people's hopes up. It's just everything kind of falls apart. I had COVID last time, and it's coming. I do want to kind of that's about it really. Billy Connolly got the Fellowship Award at the BAFTAs, which was beautiful.
Hell yeah!
Oh, nice.
So, and Billy Connolly is definitely a idol of mine. So it was great to see that. He still has it, where he said my Parkinson's is bad. My wife dresses me in the morning and strips me at night. I'm a lucky man.
Well, Josh,
so that's all I gotta say.
thanks for doing the show. Always love having you here. Jason?
I'll be back on here eventually if I'm allowed. About all I
Yeah,
have
you're
going on.
allowed.
All right.
Of course you're allowed. We'll get you back on here. Mark,
I'm
you got
boring.
anything you want to say? That's
Well, I mean,
fine.
if you own a Mini Cooper, I want to be your friend. So find me online at minis and places. Other than that, I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Perfect. Couple of weeks. I thought you were on the Monday show.
I'll see you next week.
All right, perfect. Thanks for doing this.
It's fun.
Connor, you got anything?
Congrats on 100, man. That's awesome. And thanks for having me.
Thanks
And,
for doing it.
Thanks for making movies, all you filmmakers over the years. And Abbott and Costello, thanks for never ever meeting Frankenstein.
See, I thought you were thanking me specifically because I have made a black and white movie that nobody should look for because it's not great.
I would actually like to thank Ted Turner for saying enough with this nonsense. Enough of the black and white. Let's get some color in here.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ted. You wacky old fucking man. Thank you.
Colorizing 1938's It's a Wonderful Life beautifully.
Colorizing 1931's Godzilla.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Casablanca. All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Nick.
so
Thanks,
much,
guys.
all of you.
You just
once
colorized
again-
me.
Once again, Conor Shanahan, Jason Dubinsky, Josh Poirier, Marc Catino. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description. Follow on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We do this show 2 days a week, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Like and subscribe and do all that YouTuber stuff so you can see more of these. This is I enjoy doing this so much, and we've had such a good run of shows. You're gonna want to go back and watch some of those. Watch the new ones coming out, and please, if you're interested, join in on Tuesday, June 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern for the 100th episode. Thank